Hey guys, so this is the part 2 to the video. So we just got done talking about American Horror Story double feature episode 8 titled Inside. So we just finished the review. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Now we're back with the second part 2 of the video. This time we're going to be talking about predictions as well as the breakdown of episode's 9 trailer, which is titled Blue Moon. So let's get this started. Roll the opening credits. So definitely after watching episode 8, and like I told you guys, this gave me so much understanding that the feeling of other seasons were at play. So what if I tell you guys that what I think that happened is that due to the fact that Mallory went back in time because of Michael Langdon when he destroyed the world, I feel as if Apocalypse will be making another appearance, probably the end of the season or probably for the next season. They might have a connection to the next upcoming season, which will be American Horror Story season 11. We don't know what it's going to be about yet, but I'm just having some predictions. I feel as if the double feature has been leading us to how, because of the apocalypse that has happened and how the timeline was basically switched and how the government is basically sacrificing people in order for them to basically make the babies to be hybrids. Now another thing I could feel is that the babies were gonna be hybrid in the future. If you look at the past characters that we had, Timothy and Emily were one of the biggest, I would say, puzzles, because at first we didn't know what they were gonna do with them at the end of American Horror Story Apocalypse, but we end up seeing that they were the two missing pieces that basically the devil needed to recreate the apocalypse. And we also got the cubicle things, like I told you guys from the previous episode, how the cubes were used to so it goes to the apocalypse, and I would say Death Valley, I could say, may have like a connection, because if we saw that the cubes were like eaten in the lab, like when everyone was pregnant, as well as we could also say that Cody Fern's character may be the cause of why the aliens are suffering as well, because we know that he was a human, I would say alpha. He was the person that was made from a ghost as well as human, and that's how the apocalypse happened in the first one. Now the second coming of the apocalypse, because of Mallory went back in time and changed things, we could also say that this may affect the aliens as well, because now not only they're dying off, they need things to reproduce, so that's why they came to Earth. And that's how this might connect to like Death Valley, where the alien needing 5,000 people to replace like their falling comrades, and that Michael Langdon was probably one of the causes of why some of the aliens probably got extinct in the first place. So we could definitely feel as if the timeline that has been affected could be a major reason why we're seeing the aliens abducted some of the people, because of the deal that was made, and how, I guess, due to the apocalypse, I guess the mystery behind how Michael Langdon, and there was even a poster, I think back in, I think 2017, before Apocalypse came out, like they had this like trailer where the baby basically had like all these snake things. It was like a wallpaper, but it goes to show that, you know, they were like inbreed, or as well as like some combination that was being done already. So connecting back that to like Apocalypse and how they had like the cubes of how the people were eating, it goes to show like Michael Langdon probably had like deals with aliens before, besides like the witches or the warlocks. I think he had hands in science as well, like Jeff and Mutt, which was also the two scientists back in Apocalypse, who the one that created Miss Mead in the first place. I feel as if they were probably some of the original test subjects that basically created part of the cooperative that we see. That's another thing I wanted to say. Everyone that had like a tie-in to like the aliens and how they became hybrid, they end up sacrificing themselves to gain power, because Michael Langdon said that, you know, you guys are all under the bidding of my father, so that's how I'm able to control you guys. If you guys don't recall when he said that back in season 8, and how Tim and Emily basically became the new faces of what they want. And then you could even connect that to even Asylum, and how they had the kids, and the aliens took the kids and basically inject them, and now the kids were like, they had like extra powers. And like I said, they also mentioned Freak Show as well, when Calico was saying that, you know, one of those ladies could shoot things out of her woman private parts. So that was definitely Angelica Ross, or I forgot her name, Angela Bassett, sorry. But Apocalypse, I feel it says Apocalypse is the cause of Death Valley and double feature because of everything. And I even like the cubicle part that we saw, like with the white area, it very resembled where Wilhelmina Venable, where she basically worked, you know. So that could be something that we could spot as well. And how Emily and Timothy had like internet while the whole world was basically destroyed, and they were looking. And then that could also connect to like the quote in the letter of what Eisenhower was reading, how Adam and Eve and God, like they didn't came from God, because remember the special DNA thing that they had. So that could be something too. The reason why they have special DNA is probably because that they came from aliens, and they were probably aliens hybrids, because they gave birth to the new apocalypse that's gonna be happening. And that's how the ending is. And like I said, this was another shot of how we never saw who was part of the cooperative. We could even say that the chemist that we saw in Red Tide is part of the cooperative. You know, she probably sold herself to Michael so she could get like power or become more famous. You know, how talented she is, where she could go to any town and use the town as like a lab subject just to test those pills. She could be part of the like higher ups of the cooperative. You know, we never got like the different outposts and how they look like. We could have only saw one outpost, which is Outpost 3, and as well as Jeff and Mutt laboratory where Williamina Venable worked. So how they created Miss Mead could be something too that connects to Red Tide, based on the technology and the deal that Eisenhower did, this could also be the cause of how the cooperative was created, because of all the high tech. Because think about it, the way that they even created Miss Mead and how she became so realistic, and it was only 2021 when when Michael Langdon ended the world. So it basically has a connection to the deal that Eisenhower made in order for them to get more technology, because they sacrificed at least 5,000 people to the aliens so that way they could get, technology. So we even saw that the ending of Apocalypse showed the new upcoming Michael Langdon, the return of Michael Langdon, I could say. Because Mallory said energy cannot be destroyed, it cannot be recreated. So we could definitely see here, this could be a big connection of why we see the timeline, how messed up it is, and how Michael Langdon could be coming back and probably future season. So I definitely wanted to put some prediction on that and how this might connect to Death Valley. Now we're gonna switch to part 2 of the video, which we will look at the trailer of episode 9, which is titled Blue Moon, and we're gonna break it down and slow down the video after. So let's gonna be watching it and see what we would learn from this trailer. All right, so it's called Blue Moon. Let's watch the trailer.
Who's there?
What is taking place here today never actually took place. What the devil's going on? We have an intruder. I said let her go! He's here.
Mr. President, I believe you've been expecting me.
AHS double feature, part 2, all due next Wednesday at 10 on FX, next day FX on Hulu.
So definitely, this is some things that I have understand out of the, even in the Apocalypse, like I said, basically shown how the babies, the cause of everything, creating new type of people into the Apocalypse, created like the new, rebirth of like Antichrist and all that stuff. So we could even say that in this in the trailer of episode 9, which is titled Blue Moon. When you think of Blue Moon, it's very rare, but it doesn't happen all the time. So this episode might be something that, either connecting to the witches or anything, but I feel as if aliens and everything that's already involved, that could be, a big factor too. We saw like Marilyn Monroe is like screaming or something in the trailer. The whole table or all the rooms inside the, I guess, West Wing is shaking, and Eisenhower is looking around, and he said whatever that you was looking, it never happened at all. And we saw that there's 2 type of like injecting pills they have, or shots that could either erase or put you unconscious, and how Mimi Eisenhower is being controlled and she's being levitated, and he basically, like, everything's happening so fast. It's basically he's explaining like what's happening and how to fix the problem. And then, as he said let her go, we saw that the door opened and Michael Langdon, played as Thor, is the one that came in and explaining, I guess you wanted to see me, Mr. So he's probably the one that's in charge to, make the deal and see if the Americans are holding their end of the bargain. So I can't wait for episode 9, and I think that I can't wait to see how the season ends and what connection that it may have. So guys, thank you, and like and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.
Michael Langdon was born, and just as Billy won, he ushered in the end of times. Should you have no care, raising care? strike them down on patience behind. When fate went awry, witches, clowns, and backside, vengeful spirits were bound to the land. Then from this Cape Cod trek, two new ideas coalesced, and this was Ryan Murphy's plan. Double feature, black pill heaven, shot to creatures, shooting saucers flying, watch them crashing. Just show, please let me go.